Hi there and welcome to my channel. I wanted to let you guys know how it's possible to do Whole30 on a budget, and I'm targeting about $35 a week. So if you're interested in doing this diet, which is an elimination diet, just because you want to figure out maybe some foods that are inflammatory or just want to feel better and maybe lose some weight along the way, this is one way that you can do it without having a crazy grocery budget, and I already like to keep my grocery budget low, so let's take a look. Here's my receipt from Aldi showing that I purchased all of these things, and the total here before tax $43.84 and with tax $44.72. So that was today, and I got quite a large supply of things here. On sale for $6, which to me that's an insane amount of money to spend for some bacon, but most of the breakfasty deliciousness and also my Cobb salad this week are going to need some bacon, so hopefully I can make this last. But I got lots of veggies. I got my onions, some carrots, I got green beans, and 4 avocados because they were only 80 cents a piece, which is a little less than usual. And I got a giant bag of russet potatoes, so that should probably last more than just this 1 week. And I decided to splurge and get the colored bell peppers instead of the green ones because they're a little more tasty and a little more exciting. I've got my bag of sweet potatoes, which at Aldi these are super cheap, so I really like to have those around. And another splurge item was the spring mix, which is not a huge splurge. It was like $3.59. But usually I would get like romaine and iceberg, and that was kind of my plan to kind of mix those up myself, which would have come out to probably $3, but they didn't have any romaine or iceberg. And then I got 2 cartons of eggs, and hopefully this is enough. Then I got my salsa for a couple of the different things, but this will probably last more than just this week, so that's another staple to have. And I got this light olive oil, which was cheaper than I thought. I thought it was going to be like $4, and I thought it was going to be like a bigger bottle, but you can't use like vegetable oil or canola oil, and those are like mild tasting oils. So most people go for like coconut oil or something, but I feel like coconut oil has more of a flavor probably than light olive oil. And also coconut oil is pretty expensive and kind of a pain to deal with because you can't just pour it, you gotta scoop it out with a spoon. So I'm over here trying to be a little cheaper, so this was only like $2.59, so not too bad. And then as far as my actual like protein goes this week, I got a big thing of chicken thighs. Now chicken is going to be your best bang for your buck when it comes to meat, and most people just buy chicken breasts because that's what they're most familiar with and they're scared of bones and skin or whatever. But this is like a family pack, and it was only 99 cents a pound, and it does have bones and it does have skin, but it's only $4.90. Like I looked for the smallest package I could find that was at this price per pound, because then you get your biggest bang for your buck. If I went to like the non-family pack size, it would have been $1.29 a pound, which would have given me a little less meat for my money. But that is my whole grocery shopping. Alright, here I am on morning 2 of Whole30, and I'm preparing my sweet potato apple bake. And I just wanted to explain how I'm making this. So I put about, if you have large apples, 3 apples. If they're small, probably 4. And I put 3 like medium-sized sweet potatoes, and I chopped them about the size of maybe my thumbnail, maybe slightly bigger than that, and tossed them in there. And I'm going to mix them all together with the other ingredients in a little bit. But I'm adding to it some seasonings. Vinegar is because I like to add some sort of acid component. I'm going to add just maybe like a tablespoon of vinegar to the whole thing. I'll add salt, a good amount of salt, and then allspice, cinnamon. Cinnamon's the most important one. I'm adding just like some other spices that also go for like cinnamony type dishes, just to give some extra flavor components. So I have ground ginger, and then this down here is my giant thing of cardamom that I've had for years. So I'm going to add a little bit of each of those. And then I thought to make it even more flavorful, I could add a sweet component. Now, on Whole30 you can't have any sugar, but you can have dates from what I remember. So I just had some dates in the pantry, so I'm going to put a couple in there. And then to get a good fat flavor, I'm going to put in mostly the fatty pieces of the bacon, but also just like a little bit of bacon meat, and I think that will make the flavor come out really nice. I coated the bottom of the pan with some of that light olive oil, but most of the fat in here is going to come from the bacon. So then I'll just cover this with aluminum foil and bake it at 400. It's set for 90 minutes, which seems kind of long. So this is one to plan ahead, just so you know. This is going to be the first time I try making homemade mayonnaise. I'm going to make it in this mason jar, and then I'm going to turn the mayonnaise into my dressing for my salad, my Cobb salad this week. So I have like a dressing bottle that I'm going to put it into. I have, for the mayonnaise step, I have my mason jar, I have my immersion blender, I have a cup of that light olive oil that I bought right here. I have about a tablespoon of lemon juice. I don't really like to measure things very much, so I kind of eyeballed it. And I also have a room temperature egg. People recommend room temperature so that it doesn't separate out. So the trick for this, if you just had your egg in the fridge, is to let it sit for a couple minutes in water that is closer to room temperature so that it will warm up. So this is now no longer the temperature of the refrigerator, it's a little warmer. So I'm gonna go ahead and crack the egg into my jar. The whole thing goes in. We don't need to worry about separating eggs and yolks. And again, I've never done this before, so we will see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and add the lemon juice. I like my Himalayan salt with my little grinder, so I'll put a little bit of that. And then I'll go ahead and pour in the oil. So the tip that I was seeing for actually making sure it emulsifies correctly is to place the immersion blender all the way down to the bottom of the jar first. You know, I didn't plan this out very well. My immersion blender does not fit. All right, let me grab a bowl. That's a bummer. All right, I'm gonna pour it into the bowl. So now you won't be able to see, but you'll get the idea. I'm gonna blend with the immersion blender touching the bottom for about 15 seconds, and then I'm gonna slowly raise it up, and it should all come together into a nice mayo consistency. Hopefully. I've never done this. Wow, that's actually incredible. I cannot believe that this is even possible. I'll pour it into my mason jar so you can see it. It looks about like mayonnaise. So I'm going to pour about half of it into my jar and then keep the other half to the side for my little dressing. So what I did for the dressing, so here's my mayonnaise. So the next thing I'm going to do is add, I had some fresh chopped onion and fresh chopped garlic that I kind of soaked in about a tablespoon of red wine vinegar because I don't like that like really sharp bite. So, you know, I was thinking of doing the whole batch, but because I'm only doing about half the mayonnaise, I'll do like maybe 2/3 of my chopped onion and garlic mixture here. And then the only herbs I had on hand, fresh herbs, was parsley or basil. So I decided to chop up some parsley. And then I had some thyme and paprika in the cabinet. I figured maybe this would all go together. I'm not 100% sure on that, and hopefully it tastes okay. I'm just gonna mix them together. Some people were suggesting you could blend it up a little more to make the herbs and stuff tinier pieces, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so it looks about like a creamy dressing. I'm gonna place this into my dressing jar. Would be nice to have a funnel for this part, but that is one kitchen item I have not invested in just yet. All right, so this is what the dressing looks like. Hopefully it tastes good. I'm gonna go ahead and taste a little bit. I'd say it's pretty tasty. It'll make my salad somewhat flavorful. Okay. So for dinner tonight, I'm making the mashed potatoes, green beans, and roasted chicken. And so I decided to just go ahead and roast my green beans with my chicken. This is a really delicious way to make it, where you put the salt and pepper underneath the skin of the chicken thighs and then put the skin back on. And I did that about an hour ago so the salt would have time to penetrate through the chicken meat. And then I patted the top of the skins dry so that they would be able to crisp up really nicely in the oven. So putting them on top of the green beans, I toss the green beans in olive oil, salt, and pepper. And that chicken juice is going to soak down and flavor the green beans as all of this roasts together. And so hopefully it'll come out really nice and crispy and very flavorful. So that's the plan for that. The mashed potatoes will be done later. I'm currently cooking potatoes for 2 hours on high in my crock pot just to hopefully soften them up to be able to mash up easily. So I'm gonna put the chicken and green beans in the oven at 500 degrees for 50 minutes. 50 minutes. It's a pretty long period of time, but they should come out